Good morning. It's the last practice, well, until December. It is Friday, the day before Halloween. October's almost over. Let's get some good stretches in. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's see. So today we are doing, I'm calling it wild dancer pose. It's a little bit different name than I called it before. I'll be honest, the whole reason is because when I take the cover photos for, hey Becca, how are you? When I take the cover photos for YouTube, I can't do it while I'm standing up because it won't capture it. I can't put my phone back far enough for it to capture it in a way that'll allow me to crop it down to where I need to for YouTube. So I usually try to take those photos like laying down, or not laying down, but like closer to the mat. And so wild thing was a better pose for me to capture today. So it's like, we'll just call it wild dancer. So it makes sense. Awesome. I'm so glad you're doing well. I like your suggestion on Facebook about doing 30-minute flows, which I think we can definitely do. I'm probably going to switch up the platform either in December or January, something that's a little bit better for workouts. I'm looking into a couple different options where we can post pre-recorded workouts and still do live workouts, so we can do a mix of both, and then maybe offer some other things as well in there, because I thought about doing meditations. Eventually Scott wants to do some weightlifting stuff, so it could be like a platform for all of it. I just want to make sure this is silent so that it doesn't bother us while we're practicing. And then times may change too, depending on how things are once I get to Missouri, because time change. I've been doing everything based on Utah for the last, when did we start this? Like April? May? I think it was April. March? I don't know. But, and then I've been in Nevada, so it's been interesting. But I'm going to start doing stuff on Missouri time with Utah friends in mind, because a lot of people are from Utah, and with Emily in mind also, who is out of the country, and she's been coming to a lot of these live practices, so I want to make sure we think about her. Cool. I think we're pretty ready to start. Are you ready for Halloween? Your family dresses up really well for Halloween. At least you and your kids do, I think. You always have really good costumes. Oh no, are you guys doing anything? I know a lot of places won't allow trick-or-treating. I don't think we can here, or maybe we can, but instead of trick-or-treating my brother, who lives in North Las Vegas, he's going to bring his family down, and we decorated the doors upstairs, and we're just going to do trick-or-treating here at the house. Oh, that's good. That'll be really cool. Yeah, our ward's not even doing trunk or treat. Some around here are, but they just feel like, at least our ward feels like it's not a good idea because they can't do any crowd stuff after. And I think that's the big thing that the ward wants to do, like a dinner or something. I'm not really sure. But even though we've gone back to like full church, like everybody can come to church at once, I think it's because you have to have at least 100 people or less. I think that's what the state regulation is right now. But I don't know. They just aren't doing it. All right, it is 7:05. Let's go ahead and get started, and then yeah, if this is too long, definitely feel free to leave early. Okay, we will get started. Oh, I don't have the computer in the right spot. It's because I moved it to try and take the cover photo. Oh, and somebody put this thing in the way. Hold on, I have to move this thing that somebody decided to move over here. Putting the camera down for a second. That messing with my mojo. I used to shove this back in this shelf and somebody decided to rearrange things. All right, let's go ahead and start. Come to a comfortable seated position on your mat. You can sit in kind of a pretzel shape, or not complete pretzel, but with your legs folded, or you can bring one foot in front of the other. Place your hands on your knees with your palms face up for receiving. Bring your spine up over your hips. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, away from your ears. Tuck your chin slightly. Close your eyes. And just start to notice your breathing without making any changes. Notice how you're breathing in and out. Notice how your belly, your chest move up and down. Bring awareness to the space between your upper lip and nose. How does your breathing feel in that spot? Take a deep, slow inhale. Hold it. Sigh it out. Again, inhale. Hold it. Sigh it out. One more time, inhale. Take one more sip of air. Hold it. Sigh it out. Close your mouth. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Let a slight constriction to the back of your throat, coming to your Ujjayi breath. Keeping your eyes closed, bend your head forward, bringing your chin closer to your chest. And let your head hang here. As you relax your head, as you relax your neck, you'll feel the stretch a little bit more in the back of your neck. Bring your head to the left, working your left ear closer to your left shoulder. Let your head hang here. Bring your chin back to chest. Slowly swing it over to the right, bringing that right ear closer to right shoulder. Chin back to chest. Over to the left. Chin back to chest and over to the right. One more time, chin back to chest. Lift your head up. Blink your eyes open. Place your right fingertips on the mat beside you, reaching your hand away from you. Tilt your head to the left. As you reach your hand away, you'll feel a slightly different stretch here in your neck, maybe in your shoulder. If you want a little extra tension, place your right or your left hand on top of your head, just adding a little tension here, little weight, no pressure. Release. Bring your hands back to your knees. Place your left hand beside you, reaching your fingertips to the floor, reaching your hand away from you until your head to the right, bringing that right ear closer to your shoulder. If you want a little extra tension, place your right hand on top of your head without pulling, just adding that weight. Release both hands back to your knees, your head back to center. Reach your hands out in front of you with your arms parallel to your mat. And bend your wrists so that your palms are facing forward, your fingertips are up. Reach your wrists forward. So actively reaching your wrists forward. You'll feel that stretch in your wrists. Bend your wrists the other way so your fingertips are down and your palms are toward you. And continue to press through your wrists. Rotate your wrists out 1, 2, 3, and then in for 1, 2, 3. Come to your hands and knees in tabletop position. Keeping your wrists or your hands spread or your fingertips spread. Spread your fingertips with your pointer fingers pointed toward the front of the mat. Just start to rock back and forth. So you feel that pressure in your wrists, feeling that stretch. Turn your hands the other way so your fingertips are pointed toward you and continue to rock back and forth. Turn your hands so that your fingertips are pointed towards the outsides of your mat. Rock sideways. Turn your fingertips to face each other. Continue to rock sideways. Bring your hands back to the front of the mat. Spread through your fingers. Make sure your fingertips are pointing toward, or your index fingers are pointing toward the front of the mat. Arms are under your shoulders. Bring your knees underneath your hips so they're about hip width distance apart and your feet are directly in back of your knees. Inhale, arching your back, bringing your chest forward, letting your heart shine. And exhale, round your back, look toward your belly button. Inhale forward. As you press your hands into the mat, you're really pressing them more forward toward each other as you'll feel your hands pulling back. And exhale, round your back, pressing your hands into the mat away from you. Inhale, letting your heart shine up. Let your gaze start to work its way up as well, opening up your throat. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Inhale your right hand forward and your left back. So extend that right hand in front of you. Left foot comes back, flex the foot. Inhale again. Exhale, bring your knee and elbow to meet in the center of your body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow, rounding your back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend, and place your hand and your knee back on the mat. Inhale your left arm forward and your right leg back. Flex that right foot. Inhale again. And exhale, bring your knee and elbow to meet in the center of your body as you round your back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. And set your right hand or your hand and your knee back on the mat. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders if you've made any adjustments as we are moving. Tuck your toes Press your toes and hands into the mat to lift your knees and your hips up without keeping or staying on your toes here. Start to adjust your hands and your arms for downward facing dog. So make sure your hands are pointed forward with your fingertips or your fingers are spread wide. Spread through your shoulder blades. Press your hips up and then start to work your heels toward the mat. Come back to your Ujjayi breath. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Rotate your ankle one direction 3 times. In the other direction 3 times. Draw a circle with your knee one direction 3 times. In the other direction 3 times. Extend your leg. Set your foot back on the mat. Coming into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Rotate your ankle one direction 3 times. In the other direction 3 times. Draw a circle with your knee one direction 3 times. In the other direction 3 times. Extend your leg. Set your foot back on the mat. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your foot through in between your hands. Set your back foot on the mat about 90 degrees. And windmill your hands up, bringing up your left first, followed by your right. Coming into Warrior Two. So here in Warrior Two, make sure your back leg is straight with your weight in the blade edge or the outside edge of your foot. Front leg is knee stacked over ankle. Really activate your legs here. So you're not sitting here in a passive pose, but you can feel the muscles working in your thighs. Chest is up, belly away from your thigh. Shoulders down. Look forward at your front middle finger. Place your left hand on your left thigh. Raise your right hand up toward the ceiling, coming into reverse warrior. Back to Warrior Two. Straighten your right knee. Lean forward as far as you can. Rotate your arms down. You can place your hand on your foot or just above your ankle, or you can bring it down to the mat. You can place it on the inside or the outside, depending on where you're at, your flexibility. Inhale your right or your left shoulder up, letting your heart guide you into this pose. Look up at your left hand extended toward the ceiling. Rise back up to Warrior Two. Straighten the knee again. Turn your right foot so it's facing the side of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Hinge at the hips, coming all the way down, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale back to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale brings you all the way up. Turn your left foot so it's facing the back of the mat. Bring your arms out to the sides in either direction. So your left hand is in front and your right hand is in back. Coming into Warrior Two at the back of the mat. Windmill your hands down. Framing your left foot. Step back to plank. Lower to Chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your foot through. In between your hands, lower that back foot 90 degrees. Windmill your hands up, bringing your right hand up first, then your left. Coming into Warrior Two at the back of the mat. Make sure your shoulders are down away from your ears. And activate your arms here. As you feel the muscles activate in your arms, you'll be able to get that your arms parallel to the mat a lot easier. You'll keep them parallel instead of moving one above the other. Place your right hand on your thigh behind you. Inhale your left arm up toward the ceiling. Your gaze follows. Back to warrior two. Straighten your left knee. Lean forward as far as you can and bring your left hand down to the mat. Place it on your leg above the ankle, on your foot, or you can place it on the mat either in front or in back. Avoid placing it directly on the ankle. Let your heart shine up and be your guide as you twist up, look up at your right hand extended toward the ceiling. Slowly rise all the way back up, then back into your left knee, coming into warrior two. Straighten the leg, turn your foot so it's facing the side of the mat. Inhale and exhale, hinge at the hips, coming all the way down, hands underneath your shoulders. Grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to a flat back, exhale, fold. Elbows up to the side. Slowly come back up with your hands under your shoulders and hands to your hips. Rise all the way up. Turn your right foot so it's facing the front of the mat. Come back into warrior two. Windmill your hands down to the mat, framing your right foot. Step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your foot through in between your hands. Slowly rise up to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Lean forward, come into triangle. Bend your heart. Be your guide here as you come into a little bit of a twist. Come back up into warrior two. Turn to face the side of your mat. Ooh, lost my balance a little bit there. It's all right. Coming forward, bending forward, hands into your shoulders. Grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips. Rise all the way up. Turn that left foot to face the back of the mat. Come into warrior two. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Turn your palms to face the side of the mat. Lean forward as far as you can and rotate your arms, bringing that left elbow on the inside of your left knee. You can also bend your elbow and place your forearm on top of your thigh. Look up at your right hand and bring your left hand all the way down to the mat, followed by your right. Heel toe your left foot to the side of the mat and bring your right knee all the way down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Let your heart shine forward. Look forward, look about 3 feet in front of you. Heel toe your left foot back to the center of the mat. Start to straighten your knee as you bring your hips up and over your right knee. Flex the left foot. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold over your half splits. Bend back into your right knee. Place your hands at the top of the mat. Step back to plank. Come into downward facing dog immediately without doing our vinyasa. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Start to bring your weight to your left foot and left hand as you start to raise your right. And flip your dog, bringing your right foot on the other side of your left leg. Open up your right hand, your right arm, opening up your heart. Press your hips up. And slowly find your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your knee through to meet your right elbow. Straighten the leg, set the foot on the mat, and open up your right hand, coming into fallen star. Place your right hand back on the mat. Step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your foot through in between your hands. And set your back foot on the mat. Rise up into warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Straighten the front knee, lean forward as far as you can, and bring your left hand down to the mat. You can place it on your foot or on your shin. Avoid placing it on the ankle. Let your heart be your guide as you look up at your right hand extended toward the ceiling. Slowly rise all the way back up into warrior two. Turn your left foot to the side of the mat. Inhale. And exhale, hinge at the hips, coming all the way down, hands underneath your shoulders. Grab onto your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale to flat back, exhale, fold. Inhale, raise your hands back underneath your shoulders and come to your hips and rise all the way back up. Rotate your right foot so it faces the front of the mat and come back into warrior two. Place your left hand on your back thigh, come into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Turn your palms to face the side of the mat. Lean forward as far as you can and rotate your arms. Bringing that right elbow on the inside of your right knee, or you can bend your elbow and place your forearm on your thigh. Look up at your left hand. Bring both hands down to the mat on the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot to the side of the mat. Left knee comes down, untuck your toes. Hands underneath your shoulders. Let your heart shine forward, look forward about 3 feet in front of you. Heel toe your right foot to the center of the mat. Start to straighten your right knee as you bring your hips up over your left knee. Flex your right toes. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold over your half splits. Bend into your right knee. Place your hands at the top of the mat. Step back to plank. And immediately come into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Bend your knee. Stack your hips. Look forward at your front, or look forward at your left hand because you only got one. Start to bring your weight to your right foot and your right hand as you raise your left hand and flip your dog, bringing your left foot on the other side of your right leg. Inhale your chest up, open up your heart here, press your hips up, coming into your wild thing, and slowly find your way back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee to meet your left elbow. Straighten the knee, place the foot on the mat, and open up your left hand, opening up your heart, coming into fallen star. Slowly bring your left hand back to the mat, step back to plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. You're doing great. We've only got a little bit more to add to our entire flow. So let's do this. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your foot through in between your hands. Rise up into warrior two. Reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Straighten the front knee, lean forward, come into triangle. Back to warrior two. Straighten the knee, turn the foot so you're facing the side of the mat. This time, bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, press your palms together, straighten the elbows. Inhale and exhale, fold forward, coming all the way down, keeping your back straight. Your hands follow, and they start to work a little bit closer to the mat. Continue to press your hips up, keeping your legs and your glutes active here. As you press your hips up, you'll find that you can come into this fold a little bit better as you keep everything activated. Inhale, come all the way back up. Release your hands, bring them out to the side, and turn toward the back in warrior two. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Turn your palms to face the side, lean forward, come into side angle. Hands all the way down to the mat. Come into dragon with your right knee down. Heel toe the left foot to the side of the mat. Hands under shoulders. Look forward, 3 feet in front of you. Heel toe your left foot to the center of the mat. Hips up over your right knee. Straighten the left. Inhale and exhale over your half splits. Then back into the left foot, hands at the top of the mat. Step back to plank, and then come into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Look forward at your right hand, and start to bring your weight to your left hand and foot as you flip your dog over into wild thing. Slowly come back to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee through to meet your right elbow. Straighten the leg. Place the foot on the mat or the floor and open up into fallen star. Right hand comes back to the mat. Step back to plank. Come into downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing the foot through in between your hands. Bring your left knee or your right knee down to the mat. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale your arms up into a low lunge. And press your toes, your right toes into the mat to lift your knee and come all the way up into crescent lunge. Step your right foot to meet your left at the top of the mat, or what we've been calling the back of the mat. And step it back just a little bit till you turn all the way around and then back in place next to your left or your right foot. Left foot. I always get confused for some reason. Step your right foot forward, about to the middle of your mat. Start to bring your torso down as your back leg comes up, your left leg comes up. Keep the right leg straight. Come into that T shape, warrior three. Both hands down to the mat, a little bit in front of your right foot. Point your left toes. Inhale, top flat back. Exhale, fold. Coming into your standing splits. Just for a second here, then bring your left foot to meet your right. Come into cannonball, bending your knees, hugging your knees into your chest. Hands down to the mat as you lift your hips first and slowly, one vertebra at a time, round your way up to standing. Place your right arm out in front of you with your hand face up as if you're holding a serving tray. Swing that hand to the side, straighten the elbow so your palm is still facing the side of your mat. It's facing away from you. Lift your left leg, grab onto the inside ankle of your left foot, and bring your knees back together. All 5 fingers are on the same side. Inhale your right arm up overhead with your palm face forward. Stand up tall, and we'll do this in stages. First, kick your left foot into your hand, creating that tension between your hand and your foot. To help you keep your balance, find your focus on one spot in front of you. Once you've got that tension, start to come forward, bringing your torso down and your left foot up. And if you're ready, you can start to straighten your left foot, bringing the foot up overhead. And then slowly come out. We're not staying in it super long today because we haven't done a lot of dancer in the last month, really. Step to the back of your mat. Turn all the way around so you're facing the back of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Step back to plank. Lower to chaturanga. Upward dog. And downward dog. Inhale your left leg up to 3-legged dog. Exhale, swing the foot through in between the hands. Lower the back foot, come up into warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Warrior 2. Straighten the front knee, lean forward, come into triangle. Letting your heart be your guide, let your heart shine up. Back to warrior 2. Turn the left foot to the side. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, press your palms together. Inhale your chest up, exhale, fold. As you fold, coming all the way down, your hands follow behind you. Continue to press your palms into each other and start to work them closer to your mat. Slowly rise all the way back up. Bring your arms out to the sides. Turn the right foot toward the front of the mat. Come back into warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Warrior 2. Turn the palms to face the side of the mat. Lean forward. Come into side angle. Place both hands on the mat. Heel toe the right foot to the side of the mat. Left knee down, untuck the toes. Come into dragon. Heel toe your right foot to the center of the mat. Come into your half splits. Inhale to that flat back. Exhale, fold. Then back into the right foot. Hands at the top of the mat. Step back to plank. Then push up into downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up to 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Look forward at your left hand. Start to bring the weight to the right hand and right foot and flip over into wild thing. Find your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to 3-legged dog. Bend your knee and swing your knee through to meet your left elbow. Straighten the leg. Place the foot on the mat. Lift your left arm up into fallen star. Lower the left hand. Step back to plank. Come back into downward facing dog immediately. Lower the back knee. Keep the toes tucked. Inhale your arms up overhead into a low lunge. Press the left toes into the mat So lift your knee up and come into crescent lunge. Step your left foot forward to meet your right at the front of the mat. Then step it in back of you just a little ways to turn yourself all the way around. So you're facing the back of the mat, and step your foot back in place next to your right. Then step it forward again. Start to bring your weight to your left foot as you bring your torso down and your right foot up. Keep the right foot flexed. You can also bring your hands out in a cactus as you come into your warrior three if you feel like you don't have a ton of room in front of you. I've got a wall in front of me, so it makes it a little bit difficult. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Point your right toes. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, come into your standing splits. And slowly bring your right foot to meet your left. Bend your knees, coming into cannonball. Hug your knees into your chest. Tuck your head. Place your hands on the mat. Lift your hips first. And slowly come up one vertebra at a time. Head and chin come up last. Staying where you are, bring your right arm out in front of you. Swing it out to the side. Palms face up. Straighten your elbow so you're not moving your wrist at all. Your palm is still facing away from you. Start to bring your weight to your right foot and lift, or your left foot and lift your right foot. Grab the inside ankle with all 5 fingers on the same side. Bring the knees back together to touch. Straighten up through your body. Inhale your left arm up overhead with your palm facing forward. Find a spot on the wall or something in front of you that you can focus on as you come into this balance. Inhale and exhale. First, just kick into your hand. Kick your right foot into your right hand. Working on getting that tension. Next stage, start to hinge, bringing your torso down as you bring your right leg up. And if you're ready, you can start to straighten that knee, bringing that foot up a little bit more overhead. And then slowly come all the way out. Set the right foot on the mat beside the left. Inhale your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands so they're at the back of the mat and step your feet back. Come into plank. And then chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. And that was our whole flow today. So let's give ourselves a little bit of a cool down. Inhale your right leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, swing your knee through to meet your right wrist and your ankle to meet your left wrist. Set your left knee down. Maybe move it back if you need to a little bit. The goal here is to get your shin parallel to the front of the mat. If that's really uncomfortable for you, go ahead and bend your knee in a little bit closer so your foot comes a little bit closer to your body. And then eventually you can start to work that shin a little bit more parallel to the mat. Work on getting your hips straight so your hips are still squared to the front of the mat. Inhale your chest up, exhale, fold, walking your hands out in front of you. Working on coming down with that straight spine. And then fold, relax into it. You can place your head on the mat, or if you have a pillow or something else handy, you can place under your head. You can also bring your hands underneath your head. And slowly come up, walking your hands back in. Keep them about shoulder width distance apart. Tuck your left toes and step back to plank. And come to downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up to three-legged dog. And exhale, swing your knee through to meet your left wrist and your ankle to meet your right wrist. Bring your right knee down. Make any adjustments that you need to here with your hips to keep them squared and to get that back leg in back of you. So here, I've got my shin as parallel to the front of the mat as I can get it. Flex your foot here as well. Inhale your chest up and exhale, fold. Coming down, maybe walk your hands out. If you can't come down super low, that's totally fine. Go to where you can go because that's where you're going to get the stretch. Don't force it. You can start to walk your hands out little by little if you want to work on getting a little lower. So with each inhale, think about stretching through that spine, and exhale, maybe come down a little bit more. And you'll notice each side is different. Maybe one side is tighter than the other, and that's okay. Slowly rise all the way up. Swing your right foot around to the front of the mat. Bring your knees and your feet together. Inhale your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. When you can't come super low, and go as far as you can with your hands up overhead, and then grab your big toes with your peace fingers, or grab your feet from the outside. Whichever one you want to do. Inhale, stretching through the spine. Exhale, fold a little deeper. And continue to do that as you come into this stretch. Keep your toes flexed here. Really activate your thighs and your glutes, pressing your hips away from you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And slowly rise all the way back up. Point your toes, place your hands in back of your glutes with your fingers pointed toward your glutes. Press your hands into the mat to help lift your hips up, coming into reverse plank. Work on getting the soles of your feet to the mat. Press the hips up, and then slowly lower them all the way down to the mat, and lower your back all the way down as well. Inhale your right leg up. Grab your big toe with your peace finger. Straighten the knee. Inhale, brings your chest up. Stretch to your left hand towards the other side of the mat, stretching it forward. Then slowly come all the way down to the mat, bringing your right foot with you. Swing it out to the side. And as you bring it out to the side, think about bringing it close to your body. So yeah, you want to work it a little bit toward the floor, but you're really trying to pull it in close to your body. Bring it back to center. And set the foot and the leg back on the mat. Inhale your left leg up. Grab the big toes with the peace fingers. Straighten the leg. Inhale your chest up, reaching your right hand forward. And slowly come down to your back, bringing your left leg with you. Swing it out to the side. Again, working it close to the mat. I got a Barbie Jeep in my way, so I can only go as far as the Barbie Jeep, but I can still work it closer to my head. And bring it back to the center. Set the foot on the mat. Hug the knees into your chest. Place the soles of your feet on the mat behind your glutes, keeping your knees bent. Reach your hands down. Make sure you can tickle your feet with the tips of your fingers. Bring your knees about hip width distance apart. Press your palms into the mat to lift your hips up into bridge. Then bring your hands underneath your glutes. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms together. Press your wrists into the mat to help you press your hips up a little bit more. And slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Bring your feet out to the edges of your mat. Windshield wiper your knees and your legs each direction a few times. Straighten both legs. Bend your right knee in toward your chest. Place your left hand on the outside of your right knee. Bring your knee up and over your body to the left side. Bring your right arm out to the side, look to the right, keep the right shoulder on the mat as you come into this twist. Bring it back to center, straighten the leg out, hug the left knee into your chest, grab the outside of the knee with your right hand, and pull your knee up over your body to the right side. Right arm or left arm comes out to the side, look to the left, keep the left shoulder on the mat as you come into this twist. Bring it back to center, straighten both legs out. Widen your feet so they're about as wide as your mat. Let your toes splay open. Bring your hands down by your sides with your palms face up. Make any adjustments that you need to in your back so you can lie here comfortably. Let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Come back to your regular breathing. Let your body melt into your mat as you enjoy this Shavasana. Start to over your fingers and your toes, and your wrists, your ankles. Add a little more movement to your limbs. Hug your knees into your body and roll onto your side. It doesn't matter which side you choose. Coming into a fetal position. Whichever hand is farthest away from the floor, press that hand into the mat to bring yourself all the way back up. Keep your eyes closed and find a comfortable seated position on your mat, just like we did in the beginning of the practice. Bring your spine and shoulders up over your hips. This time, bring your hands to your heart in prayer. And as we end our practice today, first, thank yourself for this practice. Thank yourself for choosing this time for you. Thank your lungs for their breath. Thank your body for its movement. And I thank you for joining me in this practice today. The light in me honors, loves, and respects the light in you. Namaste. Not bad timing. Did under an hour today. Great. So hopefully that was good. That was the first time we've done dancer in a long time. Maybe we'll have to do more of that one so we can do more dancer pose. We do it in the full body flow, but we don't stay with it super long. And I think this week we didn't even do dancer because I cut it out working on some new ideas for the flow. But thank you for joining me. This is the last live practice until December. So no live practices during November. And this whole backdrop will be going away as well because I'll be moving. So I will definitely, if you want to keep practicing, find one of the videos here on YouTube. And I hope you have a great November, a great Halloween, a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you hopefully in a month.